you for joining us for a visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana.
I'm Papa.
And we're coming to you from Killeen, Texas. It is muggy. It's been muggy for days. It's not full sun. It's been overcast, but not.
Well, there's been some rain. There's been some thunderstorms.
No, I know, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is, currently it's not raining, but the humidity is still high.
The humidity here is not as high as it was in Austin, so it's more humid than it usually is here. But it's kind of catching up to what it was in Austin.
But also, Austin for the last year wasn't that humid because it was just dry heat. We didn't have the rain that brought the humidity up. It was real dry, so I'm glad we're having the rain because we need the rain. But I could do without the feeling soaking wet. Also, not related, but related. I made an executive decision this last week and saw our electric bill from last month, and it was $133. And some of you are going, oh man, I wish that was what my electric bill was.
Our electric bill used to be like $35, $40.
Yeah, and the highest it was in the peak of the summer was $60. So to go from the highest electric bill for the whole year being $60 to $133 in a relatively cool month was a little scary.
And we are used to paying whatever the hell this Encore fee is. The Encore fee is like an additional 30% of your bill.
It's crazy.
If you got an $80 bill, there's a $30 Encore charge for the difficulty they had in getting your electricity to you, because some poor little kid had to hand carry that shit.
Anyway, so long story short, we have decided, or I have decided, I kind of didn't even ask for input. I just decided the thermostat will be set at 78. It'll still mean for some high electric bills in the summer, and honestly, we're not struggling. I'm very grateful that we moved here because the drop in the rent, and we're okay. We're really okay. There's a little bit left. We can put stuff in savings. We're not doing insanely well, but I know that we are very, very, very blessed, and there are a lot of people who have a whole lot less than we do. And I think if I put the thermostat back down and made it comfortable in here, I probably could afford the bill, but I don't want to risk it, number one. And number two, we have no idea what each month is going to be because it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and I just don't know.
Since it's just the two of us, I'm perfectly okay with we have to wear less to be comfortable. I'll suffer, just saying.
Anyhow. So, also, in the last couple of week or so, anyway, I have started doing exercising, which is really good for me and also really hard for me, but I found an app on the phone that works for me. It's indoor walking app, but it has exercises built in with the walking, so that's been really helpful. That's pretty much all the excitement. Work is finally not insane.
Well, okay, that's not all the excitement. Today is the last day of our 3 weeks of endless celebration. Starts on the 30th with my daughter's birthday, and it ends today with my nephew's birthday. And in between, my son has a birthday, I have a birthday, my wife has a birthday, her grandma has a birthday, my sister has a birthday. We have a wedding anniversary, and our friend Terry Sudas has a birthday. Happy birthday, Terry, if you're watching. Hers is the 18th, so yesterday. Anybody else?
There's lots. Anyway, so just a really
today is the last day of happy birthday to whoever
So anyhow, it's been so. Later, I'll show you what I got for my birthday because it's pretty cool.
She got yarn.
And
In case you don't want to be a buzz killer there.
No, 'cause-
spoiler, she got yarn.
but my next gift to myself,
Be yarn.
no, it's gonna be a spinning wheel, an electric
The
spinning
electric
wheel,
spinning wheel. Yeah.
and it's gonna come from the UK. And I know I could get
I
one
thought
from
you
the
were gonna
US,
get that
but
one. Don't you have a friend that makes them with their fabricating
she's from the
machine?
UK.
Oh, she is. Well,
Yep.
you better hope she does the one with USB, right? So it doesn't matter what kind of electrical
Yep.
outlet.
That's exactly why she
She's pretty clever.
designed it in USB so she could
Put
sell
the
it
little
worldwide.
put a link
I'll
down
put
there.
a link down. It's not available yet, but she does have other things. So if you're looking for other spinning tools, she does have hackles and combs and stuff that her and her husband have been creating using digital printer, 3D printer. He's an engineer and she is an avid spinner. And it's amazing because she's really went into some major effort to make the wheel have all the things that you need and all of the controls that you need so that no matter what type of spinning you're doing, whether you're spinning cotton or wool, which breed of wool, the wheel will do it. And I'm excited for it. I'm really, really excited for it. Her name on Instagram is Gemma B Makes. I'll put her information and then the link to her Etsy shop. I don't think the wheels are going to go on the Etsy store because she's going to put them up for pre-order in June. And there'll be a certain number that are pre-ordered in June, and then they will be making them to order. And I'm just excited for it. And so, yeah, I don't know how long I'll have to save to get it, but that's going to be my gift for me.
We went to Denny's for our breakfast Grand Slam, because Denny's gives you a free Grand Slam
Well,
breakfast.
bring that up while we're...
And we met the nicest gentleman who was our waiter. And we gave him a tip, but he was so kind, and my wife liked him so much that you can lift that up and show everybody.
This is it so far. It's not done.
She's making
I'm
him
making
a
a
hat.
hat. It looks like it's bigger than it really is supposed to be, but it's going to be a tam. So I have stopped increasing, and now I'm just working so it'll fold in, and then it'll start getting not smaller but longer, and then it'll be decreased for the rim, basically, for the ribbing.
But he is a Seattle Seahawks fan, so that is the colors that
I'm
she is
using
using.
this color, this color, and this color. And I know that it would be better if this blue was like a blue.
It's not the exact Seattle Seahawks color.
But it's the only blue that I have, and I think I probably have 7 or 8 different brands of navy fingering weight yarn.
And besides, if you did everything exactly the same, you'd probably be violating copyright.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Their
but I have
logo.
started this, and what's really cool about it, I'll show it up close. This is crochet, and then this is knit, and then I'm doing a crochet section again, and then when I'm done with the crochet section, then I'm going to bring it back to knit for the final ribbing, so that the hat is a combination. What really stood out to me in my conversation with the young man, I think Jim was in the restroom, I don't know. Anyway, he stopped by the table while we were eating at some point, and he said, I really love that you're making with your, at the time I was crochet. No, I wasn't working on this, I was working on a knitted sweater. On my knitted sweater, and I'll show you in a minute the status. I was working on the knitted sweater. He goes, I love that you're doing that. He said, my grandmother used to crochet, and she's been gone for some time now, and so it just makes me really happy to see someone making. If you ever felt like or had a hat that you weren't using or a headband that you didn't like the look of, you could give it to me and I would wear it every single day. And so it was just super cute. So as we were leaving, Jim asked him what his favorite sports team was, and he told us. So I went ahead and cast it on. I don't know that I'll get it done this week. I just, whenever my hands don't want to knit anymore, I pull it out to see if a crochet is okay.
Yeah, our arthritis has been a bugger of late, and it's probably because the weather just keeps changing. So the barometer goes up and then goes down, and it goes up and it goes down. We were kind of used to the barometer just.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I have good days and I have bad days, and the bad days are really, really bad days. And I would say that not even 6 months ago, I knit every single day, and I knit for at least a couple hours a day, at minimum, every day. And now I'm not knitting every day, and I barely can manage 2 hours. And that, and I'm done. I used to sit on Zoom and I would change projects, but I would be knitting for a good 2 or 3 hours on the same Zoom and never have to stop. And now I have to take breaks and do other things. And
I think you actually qualify for a senior discount now. I have qualified for a senior discount for a while.
So that's project number 1. There's no pattern to this. I'm just freestyling it and having a really good time playing. Joining the fabrics. This is the sweater that I've been. Hello, this is Editing Valerie, and I just wanted to say I forgot to say the name of this pattern, and it is the Quill Tee by Tiffany Lynn. So it's the Quill Tee by Tiffany Lynn. Working on, you all have seen a lot of it, but we are getting.
I'm gonna go blow my nose. I'll be back.
We are getting to the end of the skein. So once I get down to 20 grams of this, or maybe even 15 grams of this left, then I'm going to switch it out. Not switch it out, but start bringing the color work back in and bring the color work down. And then when I run out of this color to do this color work with, then I will bring back in the dark purple to finish out the color work, and then I will add the dark purple ribbing at the bottom. I'm hoping that it turns out as pretty as I think it's gonna, but it's just a little. I work on it as much as I can, as often as I can. We totally forgot to tell you what I'm wearing, and I honestly, now at the top of my head, can't remember what pattern I used. I did not follow the pattern. There was a surprise there.
Not to anybody that knows you.
What I did was, and I'll put a picture in here. I'll have Jim take a picture when we're done here, and I'll put it in here so that you can see the whole sweater. But what I did is I took my leftover skeins from all the different projects and dumped them out on the bed, and then I kind of put them in order of colors, and then I pulled colors out, and then I put them in order of the rainbow. And I didn't have red, so I used pink, which is closest to pink I had. And then went into the oranges, and then into the yellows, then into the greens, and then into the blues, and then at the bottom it goes back into the purple. And I think it turned out really cool.
It did.
And anyway, but it's just a circle yoke tee. So if I used a pattern, I don't remember what the pattern was. All I did was did a cast on, and then I just increased every so often until I got to the right number of stitches, and then bound off for the sleeves, and not that exciting. The only other project on the needles is the chicken, and not a lot has happened with the chicken. I did finally finish both of the first sections of the wings or breasts or whatever, and I'm on the second section, and I just barely started it. I need to get it done. I really need to get that done, because then I can send the grands their stuff.
Yeah, and I'd like to get it out so that maybe a couple of them could get it in time for their birthday on the 1st or the 7th or the
Yeah, so anyway.
15th of June. Or
So there's that. I'm going to show at the end, I'll show the stuff that came in the mail for my birthday. Why don't you talk about the books first, and then I'll talk about a book.
Okay. I told you that I was not in a good place to read some of the newer books that are really dark. So I started rereading The Iron Druid, and I read all The Iron Druid and started with The Ink and Sigil. And I'm going to have to break down and go with an audiobook, because they used to have the written ebook at the library. They no longer have the ebook, they only have the audiobook, or they have the real book. But because the two libraries that I use are in Yuma and Houston,
Yeah, but we can go to the local library here.
we
and
need
see.
to do that one of these days.
Maybe
We
we do
should have
that
done
today.
that Friday.
It is Friday. We can go today.
Last Friday on our anniversary.
But
That's
we
too
could
late
do
today.
it. It's not too late.
Oh.
We'll see.
Let's see.
Anyway, so long
But,
story short.
So I've been
You-
reading the Ink and Sigil, which is the follow-on in the same world as Atticus, but it's not about Atticus. Atticus does make an appearance here and there. But I guess book 3 comes out in October, and I'm really looking forward to that, because book 3 is going to have more about Owen and his grove
Yay!
and the 6 pups from Orlok.
Yay!
So
That makes me happy.
that sounds quite
That's
interesting.
awesome.
I am currently listening to book 3 of The Plague of Giants, and this is called A Curse of Krakens. And I've only got 2 hours left in this book. It is a 24-hour listen. It's a lot of listening. She hates it. I'm not. She likes
I know,
audiobooks.
that's
I
not-
don't. But there are so many characters in this book that
I don't hate the story. I hate the audiobook. And I love Luke Daniels. If it was just Luke Daniels, I might be able to handle it, but I understand that there's no way that Luke Daniels can do all of the characters in this
there's a lot.
book. And I also understand that just asking him to read all the chapters would be a lot. And I don't know if it's every chapter the audio changes who's reading, but I do know that there's voices that Luke Daniels does, but all the voices that he does talk to voices he does. And this other narrator, all of her voices are talking to her voices. So it's not like his voices are talking to her voices throughout the book. So you kind of have, these are the male, these are the female, or these are whatever. It's not. It's he's narrating, and then she's narrating, and then he's narrating, and then she's narrating. And then to add insult, I cannot distinguish between her characters. They don't sound any different to me. And so when you're trying to listen to something that you can't read along with, that you can't see the words, that you haven't read anything, I cannot. There's some really cool lines that happen. There's some like very current to what's happening in our world right now stuff that's in the theme of this book, or seems to be.
Yeah, it is.
And so I'm looking forward to being able to read it with my eyes and not have to hear. But I'm not trying to throw shade on the female narrator. She is not my cup of tea, because I just cannot, partly can't understand what she's saying. And partly I can't tell who's who, because and the only reason that I figured out that, oh my God, they're different characters, is because I heard a line where the character said, yes, I want you to tell me, what was that? I want you to tell me before I step in.
The advisor is talking to his
This
advisor.
person said,
and said,
I don't know that.
I want you to warn me before I step in a steaming pile of yak shit. And literally, if I'm going to step in a pile of yak shit, I want you to tell me that too. But I want you to advise me before I step in a steaming pile of yak shit. And that's how she figured out that
And then the
there's
other
two
person
people.
said, okay, I can do that, or something along those lines. And I went, that's two different people. Oh my God, they sounded exactly the same. I'm like, no wonder I've been so confused. Because these voices that she's using are multiple people having conversations together. And I was just, So anyway, but he has been listening to it, and now with headphones. So...
Yes, not with headphones.
Hey, when I'm listening.
Not always. And
Anyway.
who was the other one that I had to buckle down and listen to it?
I don't know. There was another audiobook. So anyway, he's almost done with that series.
That one was annoying because the author would write sentences. Said Sam, said Wendy, said, so the person that's doing the narrating, oh, so much to pay the said Sam, said Wendy, said la 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 la, and you're like, the little whispered, said Sam, said Wendy, said shut the hell up. I figured out you used a different voice, so somebody else is talking. I don't need to know that it's Wendy. I don't need to know that it's Sam. I can tell by what's going on in the book that Sam's talking and Wendy's talking. I don't need it. Very quietly said Sam.
Anyway.
That annoyed the hell out of me.
Anyway.
Bet couldn't tell.
So we, that was actually, you said it was a book not by DK, but the other one. It was original.
Oh, Jonathan Moeller. Yeah, I was doing my script. See, DK Holmberg does all of his books through Amazon. Jonathan Moeller does some of his books through Amazon, some of his books through Script. So what's available for free on one isn't available for free on the other. But I like Jonathan Moeller, and he does do a slightly better job of editing, but this is the first time I've heard a book editor screw up. And not a book editor reading a book that needed to pay attention to what he was reading.
Yeah,
because
anyway.
you're reading the book out loud. God knows if you're any good at it, you've had to have read this book at least twice before you attempted to read it out loud. And they read the narrator read what was written, and what was written was a typo.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. You finished it.
It's done.
So I actually finally finished Asada.
And what was funny is I was on book 2. Book 1 was audio. Book 2 was not available audio. You had to read the book. How come book 1 couldn't have been that way? But back to Asada.
So I finished it, and I will say, the beginning of the book is incredibly hard to get through. Hello, this is Editing Val, and I just wanted to pop in because I wanted to let you know that the Asada book is not hard to read. It's not hard to follow. It's just really emotionally intense. So, if you are like me and things hit you emotionally to the nth degree, I would say read it in bits and pieces, but it's such a good read. It's such important. I think it's important for us to read so that we can see the real history. And I know this is told from her perspective, and there's all kinds of different perspectives in everyone's life. You know, we live our life through our own lens, and that may not be what other people's lenses see, but it doesn't change the fact that our society has been continually repressing and hurting and harming Black citizens, and when they stand up and fight back, our government and our institutions hurt them even more instead of being a revolution where change happens. It ends up being a revolution that is squashed by our government, and she's one of those people that was squashed that shouldn't have been, in my opinion. I'm happy that she's in a safer place, but I'm very sad for what she went through and how she got where she was. And I'm sad for our country in general, for where we're at and how very little we've come. Like, I know that it feels like sometimes we're miles from where we used to be, but on the other hand, I feel like we're like not even an inch away from where it was in the 70s, and it just breaks my heart. So anyway, it's a really good book. It is not hard to read as far as it's written really well. It's just very emotionally tied for me. Anyway, but the last probably 7 chapters, 6 chapters, I really had a hard time putting it down. And if you don't know, Asada Shakur, her birth name was Joanne Chesimard, and in the 70s, the FBI arrested her on a ton of charges. Charge for a bank robbery, another there were so many of them, and all of the cases that went to the courts, except for the last one, all of them she won. But the last one was when she was caught, when the police officers pulled her and her friends over on the Jersey Turnpike. One of the guys shot at the officers, and he was killed. And so she was charged with accessory to or whatever, because she was part of the group and they arrested her, and the other person's dead, so they couldn't charge him. But anyway, she lost that case and was in prison, but somehow, and I don't know how, and I don't care if she escaped, and she went to Cuba, and from what I understand, she's still there.
Be nice if she could get a pardon like all these scumbags get pardons.
I'm not saying that. I'm very angry after reading this book. I am very angry at the American government and the FBI for their treatment of Black Americans who just didn't want to be tortured anymore, who just didn't want the cops coming in and killing people in their community just because they could. the people who fought back to try to make things better, and the federal government literally made a witch hunt out of these people with trumped up charges. Like her and her car mates, or the people that she was in the car with, would never have been pulled over, would never have been even suspects or anything else if the FBI hadn't made them on the most wanted for something they didn't do. But because they were part of the Black Liberation Organization, and the white government assumed that meant that they were terrorists in our country, then therefore, and I'm appalled by it.
And besides, they didn't get pulled over for anything other than they got pulled over for being black.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they got pulled over, for that interaction to begin with.
Yeah, and just the whole situation. Anyway, so I keep seeing things on social media from people making just ignorant comments. Like, I just don't understand why race has anything to do with this. Well, race has something to do with it because we live in a country where the color of your skin determines whether people are going to kill you just because of the color of your skin, or whether the police are just going to pull you over because of the color of your skin. And not because you actually did something wrong, but because of who you are, and you just happen to be born. So I just happen to be born white doesn't make me any better or any worse or anything than somebody else. But unfortunately, in the society that we live in, I mean, there is no way that there are 75% more Black Americans committing crimes. It's not possible. But there are 75% more blacks in prison, because when a white person goes to court for it, the judge gives them community service or gives them an opportunity to find a way out. But if they're black, they don't get those opportunities. They're assumed to be bad before they even have a chance. And if our son had been black when he was 16 years old, he would still be sitting in prison. Guaranteed. And anyway,
now,
I'm just...
She made me think of this because of Asada. A couple years ago, I was invited to watch a movie. I had to sign an NDA that I wouldn't tell anybody about this movie, so I didn't. Because if you sign a non-disclosure agreement, you're supposed to not disclose. But the movie made me do some research, because the subject of the movie was Shirley Chisholm. And if you don't know who Shirley Chisholm is, I wholeheartedly encourage you to watch the Shirley Chisholm movie on Netflix, because it finally came out this year. Shirley Chisholm was the first black female elected to Congress. And I didn't know that. Didn't even know she existed. Didn't know anything about her, because she's not taught about in schools. And I did not know that a black woman ran for president of the United States of America. But she did. She ran against Richard Nixon. So, if you don't know about any of that happening, watch the movie on Netflix. It's based on a book. I wholeheartedly recommend you do some research on Shirley Chisholm. What an amazing woman. And she had to stand up to a whole lot of badness, because she was in Congress in the 60s. So a black woman in Congress in the 60s was pretty easy to spot in that crowd, don't you think?
Yeah.
So what an amazing stand-up individual. So give it a watch and let me know what you think. I admire her and her guts, and she had principles and she believed in stuff. I wish there were more people like her in Congress today.
Me too. Oh man, it's not gonna. I might do it. Oh, there we go. This pattern is from Beatrice Rubio. That's actually her right there. She's an amazing designer out of Chile, and the pattern was just released yesterday. So if you like knitting tops or making tops that are lightweight and comfortable to wear in the heat in the south, this is perfect. The gauge is 32 stitches to 4 inches, so that means it's going to be on a small needle, but it also means that it's super, super lightweight. You could use a heavy lace or a very light fingering. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful pattern. I also wanted to show, sorry, bear with me, y'all. I had them up and I don't know what happened to them. Oh well. So I just wanted to let you know that that pattern has opened, and I wanted to show you a couple. I had them all pulled up, but I don't know what happened. Let's see. This is a pattern by Amy Christophers, and it's crochet. And if crochet continues to be something that I can do more than knit, or at least need to alternate, I think I might make this sweater, this cardigan. I haven't asked Jim what he thinks, but just as a jacket to wear over stuff when I'm chilly. Not that that's going to happen in this apartment for a very long time, but you know, hey. And then the other one, I'm sorry, you're hurting, James.
Yeah, I'm about done, Bubby.
I know. If you need to get up and go, you can get up and go. I'm also thinking that one of my next projects might be this. And it does not get stupid cold here. But when it's cold here, I get cold. And so having something that I can pull over and like almost be a whatever you call those things that you used to wear when you're fishing. Yeah. If I could make one and make it out of brioche, especially brioche using mohair, that would be nice and warm but still super light. And I like that plan, so it could happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, I'm just saying it could happen. So
one of the new book series that I read by Jonathan Moeller is the Half Elven Thief. There's 2 books in it. It's a whole new series, new world, new everything. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. Book 1 is the Half Elven Thief. Book 2 is the Wizard Thief. Apparently, humans are promiscuous because there are half elven people, there's half orc people, there's half troll people, there's half something else. So everybody likes human women because there's a whole bunch of half whatevers running around. It doesn't say that there's a whole lot of human men going out and enjoying the company of
orc women.
But I don't think that the women are necessarily enjoying the company of whoever got them pregnant either. So the world has slavery in it and whatnot. And this young lady, the Half Elven Thief, one of her goals in life is to eliminate slavery. Cool. Much the same as Cana, another one of Jonathan Moeller's heroines is a woman named Cana. And there's a whole bunch of books about Cana.
Yeah, she's pretty bad.
Continuing series. And Cana doesn't set out to save the world. Cana just sets out to not die today.
Yep.
And in the process of not dying, she has saved millions of people by killing whoever was trying to kill her. But she didn't wake up in the morning and say, I think I'm going to save the world today. Today would be a good day to not die. I'm going to do my best to not die today. And if I succeed, I will get up tomorrow and I will do exactly the same thing. I will do my best not to die today. And in the process of living her life, she saves the world over and over and over. But she's not a hero. She's just trying not to die today. Noble effort. So Jonathan Moeller, read those. And he's got a new series with Ridmark. Ridmark's been around for a long time. I just finished the series about Ridmark's son, Gareth. And Gareth and Ridmark are both in this new series.
That's the one you had to listen to on audio.
Yeah. Well, that and
I know.
the half-elven thief. Is that Peggy's gift, or is that the one that you
Yes,
used?
this is one. So this yarn, I got my sister-in-law, Jim's sister Peggy. She sent us money for our birthday, and
Guess what Valerie used her money on?
so
Yarn.
the dyer behind Treehouse Knits is Lauren, and she's super nice. But she made these, and they were an oopsies. They were this color didn't turn out great for her. Now, it's not a bad color, it just wasn't what she was after. And so she had skeins of it that you could purchase, and she sold them for $12 a piece. And I just think that's the beautiful color. And so I don't know yet what I'm gonna make. I'm thinking, I don't know, but I'm really thinking or leaning towards a textured sweater, but yardage wise, I just don't know. Maybe I'll do a brioche. That's what I could do. I would do a one color brioche cardigan.
Mm.
That's a win. Yay me. What?
Yes, dear.
What's wrong with the one color brioche cardigan?
Nothing. If you got a cardigan done before I get a cardigan done, somebody's gonna be in some trouble.
My
saying.
cardigan doesn't have cables.
Neither does mine right now.
Yes, it does. When I have to work on it, it's all cables, and my hands do not like your cables.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
It's okay. I keep trying, and I keep failing, but I keep trying. But anyway, and then Gary from Gary Knits, Gary Rides. If you don't know who he is, you haven't been here very long. But,
hey, Gary.
So Gary, he does fundraising stuff because he's trying to raise money for his ride, and I think he managed making it. But now, once he's done with this year's ride, he's decided that he's gonna do fundraising to raise money for the folks who are new to the ride, who haven't raised enough to make the goal, so they can't ride because they didn't make enough money. And there's a community fund that matches those new riders' donations. So instead of meeting the minimum goal to ride, they only have to get halfway, as long as they meet 50% of that donation goal. So Gary's plan is to raise money to put into that so people can ride if they want to. But he did a D-stash, and it was an auction. And so I bid on these purple. I don't think that's the right purple.
Nah, it's not
It's
showing
more-
up quite right.
It's much more blue.
Yeah, see, it's making it
See?
look like the same color as those. And
And they're definitely not the same. This is way more blue. This is more grape colored, and it almost looks like a red purple, and it is not a red purple.
Oh, we gotta
is a
get the
very
TV plugged in.
Purple, blue purple.
Star Trek Discovery's back.
Yes, I know. That's why I've been rearranging and cleaning and organizing the bedroom so the TV can get put up so that we can watch Star Trek Discovery.
The TV's not up because we can't find the power cord to the TV.
Yes, but it's also not up because there's nowhere to put it. So
I could put it. I just don't
first
have a way to
things
plug it
first
in.
is make room for it. Second
Right.
thing, find the cables. Anyway, long story short, I did get 3 skeins of the purple, which is enough to make me a tea. And since every single time I make a purple tea, I'm giving it away, I'm going to hopefully make these into a tea for me. So, yeah, that's what's come in the mail. That's my birthday. And Jim got for his birthday, you got food. We went to dinner. You didn't ask for anything, though, either.
I got you.
You got a pair of shorts.
That was my birthday?
No,
Somebody insisted that I buy a pair of shorts because I own shorts.
We don't know where they are.
We have not come across them in the empire.
I also don't know that they still fit you.
No.
So there's that. And then
So now I have a pair of shorts that fit.
that he can pull on and not hurt himself. That's important. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go, I think. Prizes, because the person who won the pattern prize, Valerie,
Valerie.
she received her pattern. The person who received the yarn, which is Kara, I have not sent it out yet, but my goal is to get it either sent this afternoon or in tomorrow morning, going to the post office.
We did get our taxes sent out on time, barely. We thought that they'd already been done, and then it turned out that somebody said, "Hey, did we actually get the taxes filed?" Because we couldn't file our taxes because the computer that had the taxes, which has our computer ID for electronic filing, died.
Died a horrible death.
Died a Windows death. Windows did an automatic update and tried to update an old computer to Windows 11 when the old computer couldn't count past 10. And now the computer can't count because they fried its brain by trying to make it count to 11.
It is what it is. I can't get into it. So it says if I have a Windows recovery, I can get back into it, but I don't have a Windows.
Well, we have a Windows recovery from my old computer that ran Windows 10, so it might be able to.
I don't know. Needless to say,
but we don't know where the recovery discs are either.
At this moment, I have a laptop that someone graciously gifted me, which I use when I need to. Otherwise, I use Jim's computer, which, I mean, talk about third world problems. Oh, I don't have my own personal computer. It's not important. Besides, I spend way too much time during the week on a computer for work. I really don't want to be on the computer more. So, there's that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. We will try to be back again next week. No guarantees. And, yeah. If you can be anything you could be, please be kind.
And for all you that gave me happy birthday, thank you. I appreciate that.
Bye, y'all.
Hasta.